All right, can anybody hear me now? Ask if anybody can hear me now. I'm sure if they could, they'd say, I can hear you. Wow, it shows 8 people in there.
Can you hear us now? Bob
Now
says
there
yes.
is audio.
Woo! Success!
Oh my gosh. Where's a teenager when you need them? Now
Exactly.
we're having to do it vertically. I can't figure out how to get it to go to where Cindy and I can both, because we're not small people. We need the big screen. We don't need the side screen.
No, not just the big screen, the wide screen.
Yeah, the wide screen. Try turning your phone sideways. I did that, and it says orientation locked, rotate device back. And I don't see anywhere where it's locked.
Okay, guys. So, we've already established this is our first time doing this, okay? And,
I'm sorry, I gotta have a beer.
it's been a stressful evening. So, I have a story to share with y'all.
Cindy made homemade pizza tonight.
Okay. So, we're trying to eat healthier, not buy as much processed stuff. So, I said, we're going to have pizza tonight. So, I made the dough.
I went out and did sausage on the grill, chopped up Italian sausage, made it all pretty and brown. Go ahead.
So, my first attempt at pizza dough was a major fail. So, I had to clean all that mess up.
74 cents gone. So much for saving money.
So then I did another pizza crust. And
Thank you, Bear.
And then it wasn't an epic fail yet, as I get the look. So I get the pizza dough done. It was a little sticky, so I put flour on my hands.
Gotcha.
And started patting it out and everything, getting the sticky taken care of. I put it in the oven. It looks like it's doing pretty good. I put all my toppings and everything. And I'm going to show you what the pizza turned out to look like. It looks pretty good.
Yep. So I was talking to Bear on the phone, which is Backroads Nomad, because he's my technical advisor and makes most of my thumbnails, the fancy ones.
So here's what the pizza looks like. Looks decent, looks pretty good. Well, we started eating it.
Tastes like funnel cake.
And what I thought I was using that was flour, evidently is powdered sugar.
It was sweet. I said, my gosh, this crust tastes so sugary. I don't know why. It was self-rising flour. So I was talking to Backroads on the phone. Headed over. He goes, where are you going? I said, I had to open the app. I ordered Domino's, and I got here like 8 minutes before the live was supposed to start, trying to set it up. I don't know what I'm doing, 100%. And, well, here we are. We're eating Domino's pizza, drinking Diet Pepsi, and having a good time. So it says we have 8 people here. Thank you all very much for coming. If I could ask you to hit the thumbs up while you're here, so maybe there's a prayer that the algorithm will pick me up. We'll see.
So we've established I'm not a great cook, but I try.
She does try. And you can't tell from looking at us that we're good eaters, we're just not good cookers. So been an interesting week at the park. So as probably everybody that watches my channel knows, that Cindy and I travel the country work camping, mostly with KOA. And we're down in southern Texas, and it's supposed to be, you come down here because it's going to be what? It's going to be warm for the winter. Well, we had the winter storm 2024 blow through, and it was not warm. All the pipes in the campground froze. All the backflow protectors.
The backflow protectors.
Well, they also, our pipes out here were frozen at the spigots.
And this is where he tells me, Cindy, you work inside. You don't know what goes on outside.
So we had to get a plumber to come out because we're not legally allowed to cut that piece of PVC pipe and glue a new one on with the backflow. We can do it everywhere else. We just can't do the big stuff. So some like $12,000 later, and it's warm. I mean, it warms up, but we didn't have water for almost 5 days, and that's why it's important to fill up your fresh tanks. But so I'm going like, we have no more clothes. Today I'm having to flip my underwear inside out, so I have.
Oh, that's why you did clothes.
That's why I did clothes. So we washed clothes. So we have clothes if they dry. We have one of those, I call them the Japanese spin washers. I got a really good video in my library on how we do clothes when we were up in Montana. Yeah, thank you, Martha.
I've said that.
I know, but you said Martha Sharp would have said that.
Yes, she would have.
So we spin them, and they're almost dry, but you have to hang them up to dry. And I would flash you over to the front of the camper, where we have 2 clotheslines across. We live in a Class A motorhome, so we have two clotheslines going across the front window, and then we got one of those, I call it grandma's hanger, where it accordions up, and it's got like 3 rows of wooden dowels that go across it, and that's full of underwear and socks. So I can't show you because the first thing you would see would be my wife's underwear hanging up, and somehow or another I don't want to get in trouble. So
basically he's just trying to say we look like trailer park trash right now.
We look like trailer park trash up in here. So it's a good thing we just have this small window. Salvage the toppings from Cindy's Pizza and add them to the Domino's Pizza. Well, actually the Domino's Pizza has plenty of toppings on it, and I'm just not sure. I think I'm just going to throw that whole mess away. I told Cindy that after the live is over, that we are going to Chance, which is our dog, we're going to have to take a walk down to the dumpster so the camper doesn't smell like sausage and pepperoni and burnt powdered sugar. Sugar dough, yeah. It was. I took one bite and I said, she goes, what are you doing? I said, I'm opening the app. What app? The Domino's app. So we do have some bad news that happened this week. Backroads is met. Bob is on here and Debbie's on here, or they were earlier. We travel with with 2 dogs and a cat. The cat we rescued 3 years ago. Last time we were in South Texas working, we rescued the cat at
Port
Lavaca KOA. And then when we hit the road, we had Chance, which is our Entelbercher mountain dog, and there's Chance right there. Hey Bob. And so we got Chance from he got his name Chance because my friend of mine that managed the pound called and said, Alec, you still have your big farm. We lived on a goat farm at that time in Eastover, South Carolina. And I said, yeah. He goes, I've got the sweetest, greatest dog that is we picked up from University of South Carolina. Had eaten its way through a dorm wall. It's a herding dog. It's not made for inside, but it's been given a death sentence. And if he's not adopted today by 5, I've been instructed to give him the purple juice and put him down, which is inhumane to do that to a perfectly healthy animal. And so I was at work in my police car. I was a policeman for 26 years. And so I was a little worried because about a year prior, I'd gotten my wife a Chiweenie, which is a Chihuahua Dachshund mix named Midnight. And and I was worried because he's so big and rambunctious, and we don't believe our dogs should sleep outside. They're part of the family. They should be inside with us at all the time. So I didn't call Cindy and say, "Hey, I'm bringing this dog home." It's easier to ask for forgiveness. So I went down. They didn't. The guy said, "Listen, I'm gonna waive all the fees. You're saving us money by not having to spend it on the purple juice." And so I adopted Chance and named him, and he was a Beauregard. So anyway, I took him home, and he did fine with Midnight. And we've been on the road for. I was looking to see if we have a picture of Midnight anywhere on the refrigerator, but we don't.
Probably on this one of our.
Yeah, tablets or something. But anyway, so um, he and Midnight became best friends. If you watched any of our videos traveling down from Montana to Texas this past beginning of the winter when we left up there, um, we showed videos of where the two of them sleep in the same bed.
Yeah, if you watch any of our videos, they're usually in a lot of them.
Yeah.
And
So
since we moved into the camper, okay, first of all, when we moved into the camper, we brought both of them with us because they didn't have a choice
of the change in
to,
lifestyle.
Yeah, change of lifestyle. So
And they did good
they love it.
Adapting.
Yeah, they did really well, and they literally lay in a dog bed in between the two front seats of the motorhome the whole time we're traveling.
And snuggle up like husband and wife. But and I am Japanese. I want to learn English. Please teach me English. Where are you from? I don't know, but thank you for the watch time, Mr. Japanese. So we started having a problem with Midnight about 2 weeks prior, where she was great. She could hold her bladder for hours, and
well, she was getting older, and
she's 13.
Yeah, she would wet on one of the carpets at night. She couldn't hold it that long at night anymore. So so we were putting what are they called? I call them piddle pads. What are they called?
Yeah, piddle pad's fine. The pee pad or whatever. I just
you call it.
Put that troll in 24-hour timeout. I didn't know how to block him, but he is not able to post anymore.
But anyway, so we have been putting those out at night because she just was having accidents in the camper. And we had some friends come down and spend a couple days with us. And they said, I think Midnight might have a urinary tract infection. And so I said, okay.
And that was a Sunday.
I said, I was thinking maybe something along that line too. And so we called a vet, made an appointment to take him in. And so Alec took her into the vet.
So we made the earliest appointment I could get was our day off, which was 2 days later. So I put the pads out, and she only used them at night.
Yeah.
And I was going to just say, hey, maybe this will fix itself. Let me see what goes on. We woke up Tuesday morning, our day off. Thank God it was our day off. And what do you want me to do?
He saying do?
Dots to the right of the name and add as a moderator.
Is that here?
No, I think I click. Hold on one second. Add as moderator. All right, Backroads, you have been standard operator or moderator. So the so we woke up that morning and it looked like somebody had taken a soft serve ice cream machine and soft serve ice cream
We don't need to get into major descriptions, honey.
And so Cindy said the vet that our manager used is opens at 8, so she called at 8 and she said, you know, we have an 8:20 appointment. So I got dressed, grabbed up midnight, and took her to the vet. And while I was there, you know, she doesn't ever pee inside. She squatted, she immediately peed in the I'll do it in a minute, Backroads. So anyway, they did the checkup and everything and said, you know, we need to observe her. Please leave her with us for the day, and can you come back at 3? She said that she's dehydrated, her gums were off colored or pink or something, and so I said sure, and actually that was on the day before we got off because I was at work. So I told the manager we needed to leave early, and they were supposed to call at noon. They didn't call at noon, and I told Cindy that that was not good. And so we ended up getting off work at 4 o'clock, going going to we went back down to the vet, which is about 5 miles away. And I knew something was up.
When you weren't getting any straight answers.
Right, and they were bringing everybody's little puppy out with, oh, here's your little medicine bag, you know, give this wormer, blah, blah, blah. And I finally said, excuse me, you know, when are we going to get to see Midnight? They said, oh, the doctor wants to talk to you. Jump into the end of the story. She came in and said, you know, she's got a large growth that appears to be on her spleen.
Or close to her spleen. And, you know, other vital organs.
But the dog looked, other than having a poop and pee problem, she looked fine. She wasn't as active, but she looked fine. So they ended up telling us that, you know, either we can do emergency surgery tonight for exploratory purposes only, and then decide if we're going to do, it's going to be very invasive and whatnot. And
and they didn't from all the tests and x-rays and everything, that whatever it is, that all they did a lot of stuff.
Did $1,000.
Basically, they didn't know what kind of growth it was. They didn't know if it would come back. They didn't know if they could actually do surgery to remove it. They, you know, there was going to be a lot of trauma involved for both Midnight and for us. Like Alex said, we've had her since she was a puppy.
Brought her home in my skull cap, my police department skull cap.
She was 6 weeks old when we brought her home. So I looked at the vet when she was saying all this, and I said, listen, do you know how old she is? I said, I can't put her through that. I wouldn't want someone to put me through it. And I can't do that to her. So because of everything that was going on, and they brought her to me, let me hold her, the entire time. It was very peaceful. She, I could tell, was not herself. Oh, and they said she was in the beginning stages of kidney failure.
Yeah.
To me, that's just giving me all the signs that her body's shutting down. It's ready to go. When they brought her to me, she wasn't her chipper self. She wasn't wagging her tail like she always did. I just knew in my heart it was time. And Alec did too. So
Not as much.
we just went ahead and, you know, and put her to sleep. Um,
And this is good practice for us tomorrow. Tomorrow we're doing a video for our channel, talking about dealing with pets and emergencies on the road.
but the big thing is that we want to stress to everybody is whether you're traveling or not, find a good vet. If you are just going on a week trip somewhere, if you're taking your pets with you, when you get to a new area, go ahead and start researching for vets. You don't want to be making a snap decision in the spur of the moment at a, you know, when you have an issue. Go ahead and find a good vet in that area or somebody who has,
especially if you travel like we do. We're anywhere from 3 to 6 months in
right.
any given location.
And thank goodness we had someone here at the campground who was using this vet.
Gave big high recommendation.
Right. And so they handled it beautifully. But please do that. Please make sure you
Thank you, Karen.
that you find a good vet in whatever area you are.
And it has me worried because Chance is an Entelbercher mountain dog, which nobody knows what that is. I didn't know what it was, but there's 4 Swiss mountain dogs, and he's the smallest of the 4. The Burmese is the biggest, and so come on, Chance, come on up here. And here's my sofa buddy, and so their average lifespan is 8 to 10 years. He's 12. He seems to be in perfectly good health, but so did Midnight. What really sucks is taking a whole dog to the vet and coming back with just a dog collar. She used to love to ride in the Jeep, so I've got it hanging in the Jeep. So there's that. So we're going to move on to another subject, something that is
somebody just joined. So we ended up having to take, how old was Midnight?
13 years old.
13 years old to the vet, and come to find out she was dehydrated, disoriented. They did a bunch of testing. She was in the beginning stages of kidney failure. They found a growth near her spleen and other organs, and they weren't sure if there was anything they were going to be able to do about it. So, so we chose to just put her to sleep.
Yeah, Bob, she did. Bob, she used to love Bob. Bob, when we were in Montana up in Columbia Falls, we were camped next to Bob and Debbie. Actually, Bob and Debbie were the managers of the campground, and Cindy and I, they were also COVID spreaders. Cindy and I were their work mules, and but Midnight, we'd sit out at night, and we'd sit out at night behind their camper at the entrance to the garage door that was to the shed, and and we'd sit out there and have drinks, and Debbie would drink us all under the table. We had a great time there. Columbia Falls RV Park. If any of y'all are up in Columbia Falls, we absolutely loved that campground. So let me ask y'all your opinion. I was trying to think of something new that we could do for the, yes, I know, Bob, it was us. Um, Something new to do for the channel. And I was wondering if I put a poll up a couple days ago trying to do stuff that other people aren't doing. And so I was thinking about setting the phone or my GoPro hooked up to my laptop in the front big window of the motorhome, and which is facing the front entrance to the campground, and doing like a 2 hour live, just where it automatically goes live by itself, like it was supposed to do tonight, and do it just like a view from my RV, and you could check in and see, um, you could check in and see, what was going on in the campground, watch the campers as they pull in and out, watch the work campers zoom by at 5 miles an hour. And I don't know if that'd be something y'all would be willing to watch. That's just an idea.
I think it's silly,
But
but
in the poll, 87% of the people that have responded, which is not a huge number, I think only 6 or 7 people have responded, said that they would watch it, or at least check in and out just to kind of see what's going on. And sometimes you could,
evidently Bob says he's game for it.
yeah, Bob's the smartest one of the three of us. So,
but maybe Bob knows what kind of stuff goes on in a campground.
yeah, Bob's managed campgrounds. Bob knows what goes on, and you never know what you're going to see happening in a campground. So that's something I was thinking about. I'm retired.
Oh, and
but your little puppy Liberty keeps you busy.
But aren't they the ones that introduced us to that screen, to that TV screen where you try to see the different things that happen?
Oh, on
what's that thing
on
called?
Dish Network, on like Channel 99, where at Christmas.
What's that thing called, Bob?
I don't know if that was Bob or not.
No, it was Bob and Debbie.
I don't know what goes on there. No, this campground's not in Las Vegas, Karen. But
we have had several campers that have said that, though, when they got a little rowdy at the campground.
Yeah. So I have to tell you a funny story. We did not manage. I was the operations manager, and Cindy was the store manager. Yes, Dish Escape. It was Bob.
Dish Escapes. I told you it was.
We managed. We worked as a campground as like assistant managers. I was operations. Cindy was store manager, and we were thinking about leaving. We'd been there for 18 months. The season was over, and we really didn't want to spend another winter in our camper in negative 20 degrees in Minnesota. And so I was just looking to see what jobs were on the market. And we had 103 seasonal spots at the campground. And then we had 140 or so overnight weekend sites. And a bunch of old people in the seasonal sites. And some of those ladies were so noisy. And we had, what was the lady's name that she worked at the road
that doesn't matter. We're not going to call people out.
So anyway, she stops me and goes, are y'all going to be here this winter? I was going to get you to look after my camper, and are y'all going to come back next year? And I said, whatever her name was, I said, I don't know that we've been talking with the campground down in Florida about managing that campground. Cypress Springs or something. I just seen an ad for it that day. Well, it's a nudist campground. And she goes, and we weren't going to do that.
No, not at all.
Nobody wants to see this. But so she goes, well, I've never heard of that campground. I said, oh, that's the nudist campground right outside of, I think it's Orlando, maybe Jacksonville, but I said it's in Central Florida. She goes, "Oh, are y'all into that?" I said, "Well, let's just say her name was Janice. I don't remember her name, but I said, well, Janice, you don't ever want to walk by that big window in front of our camper at night and look in, because no telling what you would see." Now, she's the only one I told that, and I only told it for just to see how fast it would get around the campground. And y'all, I'm so excited. There are 10 people in here. I thought we'd be talking to ourselves. And so within,
basically, we were trying to find out how quickly news travels in the campground.
So within 15 minutes, this little old lady walked up to the store. Cindy was up there. She goes,
thank goodness Alec texted me ahead of time and gave me a heads up.
She goes, I heard y'all might be leaving, and I never would have guessed. And Cindy died laughing. And so by the end of the day, everybody in the campground was giving us side-eye looks and whatnot. I think the foot traffic by our camper picked up at night for a little while, and but we ended up leaving, but for different reasons, and not going to a nudist campground.
No, absolutely never. And I think what gave Alec the idea to say that to her was we worked with an older couple at
when we worked for Southeast Publications.
We did campground maps. And this older couple, they were probably in their 70s.
Oh yeah, at least.
Late 70s.
Late 70s. And they stayed at that campground.
Yeah, they did stay at that campground, but they did not know it was a nudist campground. They pulled in. It was real late in the evening. They had been driving all day. They were trying to get to their next job. And
this man showed up on his golf cart with nothing but a towel on around his shoulders.
And they ended up staying for the night. The lady would not let her husband
look out the window.
No, she wouldn't let him even hook up to water or power or anything. She said, She said, we're getting up first thing in the morning, and before anybody gets
started, had him hooked up at 5 o'clock in the morning. They were out of the campground before daylight.
Because they did not want to see any
And they
of that.
invited us. They invited them to the pool. The man had the towel around his shoulder. Says, now we're having a pool party tonight in about an hour. Y'all are welcome to come along. Oh, and this lady, she was like Miss Southern Belle.
Oh,
she
yeah.
was prim,
be no
and
part
she
of that.
was proper, and she was not going to no pool party at no nudist campground.
She called the person at Southeast Publications and said, "You're not going to believe what's going on in this campground! Oh my gosh!" Yeah, it was funny story. So we have lots of funny campground stories.
So if I can ask anybody that's here that's not members of our channel, if I ask you to subscribe, when we went live tonight, we're at 975 subscribers, and we're trying to get to that magic YouTube 1,000 subscriber mark. So if you're not a member or a subscriber, we ask you to subscribe and give us thumbs up. And we're just trying to continue on. Did get some good news today. So we'll be coming back to this KOA. We're in Rockport. I mean, it's no secret. You can watch the last video we did. If I pass the heart. And if so, we're coming back here. I was giving information. You should never tell where you are while you're there. But if you look at my last 10 videos, you know where we are. So we're in Rockport, Texas. We'll be back for all those stalkers. We'll be back here next year. But they called me to the office yesterday afternoon, right at closing, and said they had promoted me to to the maintenance supervisor, which is going to come with a little bit of a bump, but it'll look good on the resume too. So it looks like we've got a. What are you doing?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. It looks like that we've kind of got the next 2 years worked out. So we'll be going back up to Yellowstone, and Cindy's going to manage the campground store there. I'll be lead host, and then we'll be coming back here, and Cindy's managing the store here, which is almost as big as this camper, not quite. They have plans to expand it, and then I'll be the maintenance supervisor here. But the good thing is it makes us full-time KOA employees, which gives us the opportunity for some benefits. So God is good. We've been trying to figure out, what we're going to do until we turn 62, and then when we turn 62, then we're going to hit the road hard again and not go between the two campgrounds. And something may change in the next 2 years that may change that. But we're going to take our Social Security at 62 and maybe work one season somewhere, and travel a full season. And so it's, we retired early, hoping to do a lot of traveling, and then found out gas is expensive when you get 6.4 miles to the gallon.
Alec hasn't realized it yet. We're retired. Bob, maybe you can tell him what that's all about. But
we'll be retired.
He keeps looking for an angle. He keeps looking for a way.
Yeah, she's got lots of plans for me, yes, Bob. And they're all in the poorhouse.
We're getting there. I don't know. We may not be going back and forth. Something might come up.
We're going back and forth.
If Mama ain't happy.
No, that's bullcrap. Daddy's got to be happy some too. And so there's that. And Bob, you don't have to worry. We said we would cut it in an hour. We're not doing like when Backroads and I went on his channel that you came to, and we went for 5 hours. We're
Debbie
good.
Says just do what I say.
Yeah. Debbie, don't you have a dog to walk? That dog needs to go out. Retired equals sit in bed. Thank you, Bear. Yes, I agree. You got to stay active. And if you're going to stay active, you might as well put some money in the bank.
Well, that's fine. We can go to a lot of different places and put money in the bank. We ain't got to go to the same two.
Not my dog. Okay. Debbie, every time I see pictures posted of that dog or videos, guess whose Facebook channel it's on? And half the time, Bob ain't there. It's you and the dog in the creek. So there's that. What else, Cindy?
Oh, gosh.
We talked about the frozen pipes. We talked about midnight. We talked about the view from my RV. We talked about needing 25 more subscribers. Are you a pog? Thank you. I don't where do all these how do these people know we're even out here? That's like 10 people that you've had to. Yeah, but where do they come from? It's crazy. So anyway, we have got to make a insurance claim for the camper. The camper. You need to wait. We got 15 more minutes, and I'll take you.
All right. Anybody coming to South Texas for the winter, be ready for the wind.
Yes. It ain't no joke.
Slide toppers sound like a great idea if you're under a tree and you don't want debris on the top of your slides and worry about stuff getting stuck. But in the wind, they're not so good.
No. So this big slide we're sitting in right here, it's It's a dining room table, and this 4 cushion couch has been ripped off the top. So we're going to make an insurance claim. Hopefully I can do that. Yes, you did, Bob. Hopefully I can do that this coming week. I tried to call somebody today, and so we have one of those extended warranty things that should cover it, but all I did was leave a message. So I'll get the book out again and try them tomorrow, because we got the platinum service, so it covers damage as long as it's not like me hitting something and any other problems. But we've got the gasket on our stove is coming loose. I think it's from the oven. Yeah, the gasket from the oven is coming loose, and I got a list of like 9 things, and so we're gonna try to get that fixed because we got to get it fixed before we leave. Oh, we heard from our next job, and we thought we were here until May 1st, and they need us to come 10 days earlier. So we got to talk to the manager here about leaving a week before we said we were going to leave, and then that's going to cut down our travel time. But the reason I went all the way around that big circle is to come back to here. You're welcome, Bob. It was tough, and we're doing a video on it tomorrow, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it to it. But so when we leave here, we want to make at least one big stop. You know, coming down here, we went to Arches and we went to Canyonlands, but we're probably only going to be able to get, probably only get to go one good stop up, because we're going to have to do it in 10 days. And it was 6 days, because I don't like to drive more than 250 a day. It was 6 days down here, and then with the stops, I know we're going to have to go to Kerrville probably for a night or two to see Cindy's sister, which is about 4 hours away. But I've never been to these places, so but I was thinking that we would go to either Big Bend National Park or White Sands National Park in New Mexico, because we're going from the east Gulf Coast of Texas to the almost western corner of Montana, where Montana, Wyoming, and Idaho come together. They've got that little teat that hangs down on Montana.
Wow.
That's what it looks like. It hangs down in Montana, and that's where we're going. And what was the other national park you were thinking about doing?
Zion.
Or
Grand Canyon.
Or the Grand. Well, I've been talking to Backroads, and he thinks, and so do I, that Grand Canyon is going to be closed. It's going to be too wintry. So if any of y'all have any idea about which one of those would be
Stop.
Which one of those would be any better to go see? I'm kind of leaning towards Big Ben.
I just got a text from one of our children. They're watching us on live.
Oh, which one?
Davis.
Oh gosh, hey Davis. So we're going to pick one. I think I want to go to White Sands. I want to get on one of those boards.
You're not going to do that. You'll break every bone in your body.
And slide down.
Mm-hmm. We'll be at the hospital. We won't be up in Yellowstone. Wait a minute. Okay, first of all, I can't believe you're giving me that look, because who's got balance?
I got balance.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Like a weeble.
On your butt.
So.
No, he is not sliding down no sand hill.
So I want to go to White Sands. So Backroads, you're gonna have to help me figure out how to use that other live stream app, and I guess I'll be paying the $10. I've never seen so many trolls in my life come in here, but yeah, I think that that White Sands, I don't really know what's at Big Bend. I've just heard it's beautiful.
Hmm. I haven't done my research on it either.
I think you could do it. Thank you, Davis. So that Robert is really Davis. That's
That's one of our sons.
that's my oldest middle child. We have 6 kids. He's the oldest of the 2 in the middle. Oh, everybody wish him congratulations. He called last week, and he gave an engagement ring to Ash. And so we're getting ready to have a new family member. You've got a GoFundMe, don't you, Davis? Started already? Married's expensive, especially when you have 6 kids. What else you want to talk about? We're almost at Bob's time. Oh yeah, Karen, congratulations on the engagement. I'm so excited. And it's gonna be our 3rd wedding.
They've been dating a while.
Yeah, I think they he goes, I should. They've been together 4 or 5 years dating, haven't they?
I don't know. I lose track of all that.
Yeah. What day of the week is it?
I was about to say, you're lucky I realized I still got 6 kids. Yeah. And I can halfway remember their birthdays.
True. That's true. So, Davis, did you hear the story about your mama cooking pizza tonight? Instead of flour, she used, what was it, confection sugar?
Powdered sugar.
Powdered sugar instead of flour. That's hilarious. I can't get over that.
I'm not going to ever live that one down, I can just assure you.
No.
There's a lot of things, though.
So
that's just par for the course for us.
Yep. Well, I think we're at 50 minutes. I think we've done better than I thought we would do, with 2 failed starts and the phone locked in and sideways, so we can't get much view. I want to thank everybody for joining the live, and we had a great time, and I'm surprised we had numbers as high as 12, with probably only 8 of those being trolls. So, no, we got 9 in here now, which, thank y'all. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button before you leave. I'll probably try to figure out next week how to do a view from my RV. And we're going to try to do a live every couple of weeks. We tried to schedule one last week. The campground lost power. We had this one scheduled tonight. I had to run to Domino's. I came sliding in, doing a Starsky and Hutch barrel roll out of the Jeep to get in here to get it started. So I'll try to do another one in another maybe 2 weeks. And I hope y'all all join us. And thank y'all for coming. Now, I don't know how to stop it. I guess I just hit the X. I guess I just hit the X in the left-hand corner. But thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Y'all have a good evening.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Are you sure you want to stop streaming? Okay.